Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast, playoff edition. I am your host, Pascal Mayala. Today, I'm gonna mix um, all the game from yesterday and the last game that I didn't do the other day that I promised. But also, we're gonna do the upcoming game. That I that will play today, Friday night, between Indiana Pacers and Cleveland Cavaliers and OKC versus the Nuggets from a prediction. But first, if you like this video on my podcast, don't forget to subscribe, like, notify, and leave your comment on my video. So let's move on the podcast. So, uh, well, I'll say yesterday we had the Warriors versus OKC. Oh yeah, it's not OKC versus the Wolf in game two. So game two, great win for the um, Minnesota Timberwolves, 117 to 93. Uh, on the Warriors, on the Warriors on side, we didn't see the Jimmy Butler of game one and the game against the Houston Rocket, all those series. He had a 17 point, 7 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, shot for six out of 13 in the field goal, 2 and 4 and a 3 point. Uh, Buddy Hield, who was historic in Game Seven against the Rockets. Oh, and game one against uh the Timberwolves, he had a 50 point, 3 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, shot for 5 for 14 field goal, shot 4 and 9 in a 3 point. Sa- Same thing with Draymond Green. He was a non-factor. He had 9 points, uh, shot 3 and 10 on the field goal, 1 and 6 and a 3 point. And don't forget, he got 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, one block. Uh, what can I say for the Warriors? I know they don't have Steph Curry. They don't have Steph Curry because he's injured. I don't know um uh what when he's gonna come back. Well, we don't know. We don't know. We don't so sure what's gonna happen. But I believe that he probably gonna miss game three and game four. I think he will come back in game five. In my opinion, I think so because this is unnecessary. Because if you look at the team field goal, they had 34 to 76% in the field goal, 9 and 32 in the 3 point line. That's like 28% in the 3 point, 44.7% in the field goal, and when you compare to the Timberwolf, which we'll get to later, their field goal probably going to be high. And without Steph Curry, they were lost. Yeah, I know they had Jonathan Kaminga, who was pretty solid. He had 18 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound, and actually, yeah, 5 rebound, 1 assist, shot for 8 and 11 field goal, 1 and 3 on the 3 point, which he was a non-factor in the season, but but played very well in game two. So I want to hear from Jimmy Butler's comment on the how uh how he is important, and Draymond Green, how he is important in the game, in the playoff without Steph Curry, because he's injured, and to me this is the key factor, Steph Curry. So let's listen to Jimmy Butler. listen to Jimmy Butler for a couple of seconds, and I hope, and then we'll get the detail about what happened to the Draymond Green situation with a fan. So let's listen to this. Hold on, I'll get back. Let's listen to what he's got to say. And now listen.
Give me one more Draymond question. He's obviously been so good the last couple of games, and I know he's essential to this team anyway. But how is that magnified with Steph out? I mean, people talk about the offensive burden on you, but Draymond's been playing with Steph forever, obviously.
He'll be all right. You know, we all miss Steph, not just Dre. And Dre's going to continue to do what he does on the offensive side of the ball, shoot the ball when he's open, get the ball where the ball needs to go, set incredible screens. And of course, he's going to do what he does on the defensive side of the ball, challenge shots at the rim, tell everybody their coverage, let everybody know what's going to go on. Not too much changes. If anything, he's going to step it up a notch. He's being incredibly vocal, more vocal than normal, and he has to be because we don't have our number one guy out there. But he knows how important he is. It's not going to change for him either.
Do you feel Steve was pretty honest, and Draymond was too, about how he lost his poise in Game 6, and obviously came back and kept it the last two games? And given what happened tonight, do you feel any need as a fellow veteran to remind him or reinforce what needs to be done?
He's a grown man. He knows how important he is to this squad, how important every game is, and how important it is that he needs to be out there. So you don't need to tell him nothing. He's very capable and he's very observant of that. He knows.
So you heard what Jimmy Butler said about the importance of Draymond Green on the court. Yes, he is important uh, in any situation because Steph Curry's out, and I do feel like Draymond Green, although he's not really a scorer, he's more like a defensive allowability that they need from him. And what else we can say about the Draymond Green, that he's a like I say, he's a great leader, and sometimes he can get into his motion. We have to admit that, but also when he's locked in the playoff, what we get with Draymond Green. And that's another thing we want to talk about with Draymond Green, that he had a technical foul during the game against the Timberwolves with the foul on Nas Reed. And I want to put the video of what Steve Kerr gonna say about the situation between the Draymond Green technical foul. So we're gonna hear that in a couple of seconds. But I do hope for the Warriors, Steph Curry come back as quickly possible, because with him, without Steph Curry, they're pretty much lost. So let's listen to Steve Kerr on the Draymond Green technical foul. So let's hear what the Coach Kerr got to say.
Were you frustrated or disappointed, given how poised he's been the last couple of games? How much he seemed to lose it a little bit tonight.
It's part of Draymond. His the same thing that makes him such a competitor and a winner, puts him over the top sometimes, and we know that, and it's our job to try to help him stay poised, stay composed. But the competition is so meaningful to him that occasionally he goes over the line.
So you heard what Steve Kerr said about the Draymond Green. Yes, like I said, yeah, sometimes Draymond Green can get off out of line when he become a playoff situation, or he gets sometimes in his motion. But also That's why I love Draymond Green. He's kind of like a leader, and that the Warrior needs that. The Warrior needs that for motivate his team. So that's why Game Three on I believe they're gonna play Sunday. Yes, they're gonna play Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, no, Monday. Yeah, Sunday. Sunday. Um, they have to play again. Yeah, between Saturday and Sunday, but whatever. But whatever Game Three is, I think they need the leader of Draymond Green, and that also the Jimmy Butler need to step up, and so the rest of the team they need to step up for the Warriors. Now for the Wolf, they had a great victory, a great win. Uh, Julius Randle, 24 points, 7 rebound, 11 assists, shot for 10 17 on the field goal, 1 and 4 on the 3 point. Anthony Edwards, 20 points, uh, 9 rebound, 5 assists, 3 steal, 1 block, shot for 6 for the 13 on the field goal, 2 and 4 in the 3 point. Um, Nicola Alexander Walker from the bench, 20 points, 3 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal, shot for 3 and 9 in the field goal, 3 and 8 on the 3 point. Like, and JD McDaniel also 16 points, 2 rebound, 2 rebound, uh, whatever, like 3 block, 3 steals, shot for 7 and 10 on the field goal, 1 and 2 in the 3 point. If y'all look at, like I said, let's compare. Like I said, we talk about the field goal. Look at in the 3 point. Look compared to the Warriors percentage to the Timberwolves. If you look at the Timberwolves, they have 50% in the field goal, 43% in the 3 point, and that's what the difference between the Warriors and the Timberwolves. I don't know what was like the field goal percentage in the 3 point for the Warriors. I think it had increased, especially in the 3 point when Steph Curry what did not play game two. So that's probably going to lose a factor. Now for the Wolves, yeah, in the second quarter, yes, Edward had an ankle injury during that game, and I'm glad he came back. So forget the victory. And Coach Finch did call them out, not just Anthony Edwards, but the rest of the team because they didn't show up in game one. Game two, they stepped up, and I want them the Wolves to continue do that in game three at at the Golden Chase, the Chase Center in San Francisco. So let's hear what Edman got to say about his ankle injury in a couple of seconds. So let's listen what you got to say. So I'm gonna put that over there. Let's just see what Anthony ever got to say.
See the game, we see you go down before you get right about it. Did that one feel different at all? Or
Yeah, that one was bad. But y'all see, he like stepped on my foot, so yeah, that one was crazy. But I'll be all right.
You know when you're gonna be okay in those moments, like
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, D Hines, I don't know what he be doing, but my physical therapist, he the best in the world. Yeah. Like I said, my physical therapist, D Hines, anytime like I turn my ankle, we do like ankle modes. And once we got to like the third movement in my ankle, I'm like, starting to feel good. Like, you tape it, I see how I feel. And he does a great job of making sure I'm good before I get out there. So big shout out to David.
So I'm glad that Anthony Edward was okay. Um, and I do think that I hope he's okay to play in game three because without Anthony Edward, the Wolf, they can have Julian Randle, but I think Anthony Edward is the key for game three for for the Wolf against the Warriors. Now moving on from the Wolf and Warriors. The Knicks and the Celtics, great win for the Nets in Game Two. Came back again from a 20 plus um, down to win Game Two in the Garden, in TD Garden. Now Game Three is going to be in Madison Square Garden. I will say this, that I'm impressed but not impressed with the Knicks, because sometimes when I see the Knicks play, and I'm afraid, like I said, I'm afraid for Jalen Brunson. Yes, he's small in size, but but I don't know how I feel about the way he plays. Let, let's look to the box score for the Nets and the Celtics. Jalen Brunson for the Nets had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and I do think that he's like the number one option, but I think I prefer that he become a number two or three option if they can get a superstar, another superstar on the Nets. So Bronson shot 6 for 19 in the uh field goal, 2 and 9 in the 3 point. Carl Anthony Cat 21.3 rebound, 1 assist, shot for 9-16 in the field goal, 0 and 1 in the 3 point. Josh Hart 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 9 of 50 on the field goal, 3 and 6 in the 3 point. Uh, Mikal Bridges 14 points, great 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, shot for 6 and 18 in the field goal, 2 and 3 in the 3 points. So what did I think of the Knicks? Like I said, I don't like that with how the Knicks are playing, because number one, they always go down, climb back up, right? It should not happen in Game Three. And also, I will call out Tom Thibodeau for that not playing with the other players. Like you see right now, you're seeing that on the box score, that you have players who've been to the playoff, but they did not play. So I'll call them out, because I'm afraid that somebody between Bronson, Cat will get injured. I'm sorry to say that, Knicks fan, but you have to call out Tom Thibodeau for that. Yes, you guys are 2-0, but I'm not very impressed, in my opinion. Now for the Celtics, uh, yes, they lost, they collapsed, they did collapse. The collapse in the final minutes. Jason Tatum was a bad performance in Game Two, 13 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Shot for 5 of 19 and field goal, 1 of 5 in the 3 point. Jalen Brown, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Shot for 8 for 23 in the field goal, 2 and 7 in the 3 points. Derek White, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 shots, 6 and 17 in the field goal, 3 and 11 in the 3 point. Drew Holiday, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 4 and 6 in the field goal, 0 and 2 in the 3 points. So yes, they did collapse. I'm gonna admit that they collapsed in a huge way, that they could have tied the series. Now, they need to win Game Three in Madison Square Garden. But if you compare to look at the field goal between the Celtics and the Nets, 43% for the Nets in the field goal, to 36.2% in the Celtics. 29% in the 3 point, 25% in the 3 point. So you see the differences. I think there's a best quote when we say you live by the three, you die by the three. I think the Celtics way to shoot threes it's pretty much uh, a miserable thing to do because then I know they're not the Golden State Warrior, and this day and age you have to shoot the three to win championship. But the way they're playing, I think it will kill them. So Joe Mazzulla need to adjust the game three, and we want to hear from him the final minute decision. What led to the final decision at the end of the game? So I want you guys to listen to this, and I'll come back and give you my opinion of it. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna just put the volume up. Let's start, and let's
Joe,
go.
what happened there in the last 5 minutes? It just seemed like you guys could score, and they just made every play.
Yeah, they made every play, and like I said, even throughout the end of the third and the fourth quarter, I thought we generated some good looks, and then I thought we had some live ball turnovers, and they took advantage of it. So they made the necessary plays to win. We put ourselves in position to do that, and we just didn't make the plays.
You guys, two days off. How do you respond from this? This is just another blown 20-point lead. Exactly your worst nightmare. How do you come back from this?
Yeah, I mean, you just take a look at it, figure out where you have to be better, and put a full 48 minutes together. So have an understanding that it's going to be difficult, but that's why we do what we do, and figure out where we have to get better and do that.
Joe, what was the thought process with not calling timeout there with 12 seconds left?
Had one left, got a good look on the exact same play 20 seconds earlier, tried to execute the exact same thing. They did a job of their lower pickup point, and we weren't able to get the advantage that we had on the last Tatum dunk. So good full court setting. They subbed out Towns, weren't able to sub out Brunson, had action there, and we just didn't execute.
Joe.
So you heard what Joe Mazzulla said about the last minute. I think that yes, like I said, the coaching need to adjust. Coaching need to adjust game three. Like I said, I don't need to give the detail, but it's a must win for the Celtics. It's a must win for the Celtics in game three. Now moving on, we want to talk about OKC versus the Nuggets in game two. Great win for the OKC 149 to 106. Jokic had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 6 and steal, 1 block, shots for 6 and 16 in the field goal, 2 and 4 in the 3 points. Jamal Murray 14 points, 4 rebound, 1 assist, 49 in the field goal, and a 3 and 5 in the 3 points. Compared to let's go back. Compared to the OKC, but Russell Westbrook from the bench, 19 point, 1 rebound, 5 assists, shot for 511 in the field goal, 1 and 4 in the 3 points. Let's compare to OKC. SGA 34 points, 4 rebound, 8 assists, shot for 113 in the field goal, 1 and 2 in the 3 points. Who else? Who else got a great game? Jalen Williams, 17.4 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 for 11 in the field goal, 0-3 in the 3 point. Chet Holmgren, 50 point, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, shot for 3 and 8 in the field goal, 2 and 3 in the 3 point. Alex Caruso from the bench, 14 point, 0 rebound. No, sorry, 14. That's it for the no. Isaiah Joe. My bad. My apologies, people. Isaiah Joe, 14 point, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, shot for 5 of 5 in the field goal, 4 and 4 in the 3 points. What can I say of this game? That's what I expected for OKC to bounce back, to respond. Uh, uh, game, game two. So if you look at the field goal between OKC and Denver, uh, on a field goal, OKC have 56% compared to the Nuggets 37%, or let's say 38%. Uh, you compare to the 3 points, OKC 44% to Nuggets 40%. So let's listen what Nikola Jokic and and Chet and SGA got to say for game game two in his opinion, and what did he need to adjust?
Oh yeah, we didn't. Basically, it was one team playing tonight. Even the turnovers, misses, they were aggressive. They were going by us. They were rebounding the ball. They were just better. They were much better than us today. And that's the score. That's why the score is so bad.
Nikola, this is your guys' second big loss of the postseason. What have you seen from David Adelman in terms of handling it?
I mean, he handled how it's supposed to be. We need to get better. We need to be better. It's not his fault. I think it's everybody's. Maybe it's a little bit his fault too. But it's collectively as a group. We need to be much better to not react to attack them.
Nicole, you guys have had some tough playoff losses, including the last round. Can you draw on that ability to not just forget about the game, but turn the page to the next game and not dwell on the loss?
I think we should not forget about it. I think we should learn from it, and be much better. And where we made mistakes, we were not being aggressive. What we did in the first game, what we did not in the second game. So, so just we need to learn from it.
So you heard what Jokic said. They need to learn from game two, moving on game three in Denver. So I hope game three they're gonna change the mentality and the strategy against OKC. Now let's listen a little bit Chet Holmgren in a couple of seconds. Um, in his opinion, what changed game two from game one from game two? So let me just go this. Let me disappear. There we go.
And I was talking to Kay last night. Shout out to him coming over watching the games with me. But I was just telling him, I had 5 screws and a plate put in my foot, shattered my hip in basically 6 places. And I was thinking about it. I was like, if I could pick one of those 3, missing a couple free throws is the least of your worries. Obviously, it hurts knowing what was on the line. Playoff game, you never want to lose. But you also can't be afraid to fail, I guess. I've been on both sides of it. Hit big free throws to go to overtime. I've hit game winners. I've missed game winners. Obviously, missed clutch free throws too. It's all part of it. I didn't spend too much time on social media the last couple of days, but I'm sure I was getting ripped pretty hard. So just understanding that it's all part of it. Obviously there's a lot of basketball ahead of us and we have a lot to do, we got to get a lot better, but I mean, it's all part of it. I was also talking to Kay and he just said, because he's played a lot in his career too. He's been in similar situations and been through similar things. And he just said, don't run from it, you got to want to shoot free throws again. You got to want, when you make a mistake, you got to want to be in that position again and then try and get it right. So, that's what I'm going to try to do going forward.
Yeah, Chet.
And
so you heard what Chet said. Yes. They need to really, in my opinion, they need to change the mindset from game one, from game two, And from game three, they need had same mindset, in my opinion, to win the series against Denver. In Denver, sorry, in game three and game four. So I'm glad he was honest what he said. So let's listen a little bit. SGA is gonna be a couple of seconds, but we have to hear from the man himself. What he's got to say for the victory in game two. So let me just scroll, disappear myself.
We were who we can be tonight. We played to our identity. We were focused. We were confident. We executed the game plan, and like when we do that and we check all those boxes, it looks like it did tonight. And I think we just got to our identity and didn't veer from it for the full game, like Coach said.
Let's listen what he got to say one last time. Then I'll give him my opinion on
I
this
didn't
one.
learn anything new. I think we were who we can be tonight. We played to our identity. We were focused. We were confident. We executed the game plan, and like when we do that and we check all those boxes, it looks like it did tonight. And I think we just got to our identity and didn't veer from it for the full game, like Coach said. I didn't learn anything.
So you heard what SJ said. So game two, he didn't learn, but they had to find their identity for game two, and that's what you need from a team. Identity. They need to find that identity. So I'm glad that they won that game two, and game three. The identity has to be the same. That identity need to be the same in game three. Moving on from this to my prediction for game what is it? Game three between the Cav and the Pacer, OKC and Nuggets and Knicks, and Celtics and Knicks. So let's predict. So for Cav versus Pacer, I think the Cav needs to win game three, because this is a state of emergency. Because if they don't win this game three, it's game over. It's game over the Cavs. It's game over because you play in Indiana and you know the fan will be rowdy, and Pacers play very well at home. So for the Cavs, they need to win this. Now, Thunder versus Nuggets. This is going to be like a grudge match, but I do think OKC can pull it, unless if it's like a last situation and then Jokic find a buzzer beater or Jamal Murray. So to me, OKC need to win this. Like we show in the a couple of seconds that they found their identity, and I hope this identity adjusts in game three in Denver with the atmosphere that you can breathe over there, which is true. But they need OKC need game three. So now for the Celtics and the Nets, Celtics need to win this, and both teams need to win this for a different reason. Nets to win this because they need to close the series against the Celtics. Even though they're a good team now, a great team, they're probably the good team. But if you put them in the final, they're probably gonna lose, like in 5 games, in my opinion. So that's important for the Nets. For the Celtics, it's very important for them because 2 games you lost at home. Game three, you need to change. You need to adjust in game three, and that JB and Jason Tatum need to step up. and Coach Missoula need to adjust a new strategy in Game 3 because in New York those Madison Square Garden they're gonna go rowdy. They're gonna become rowdy. So to me, Game 3 is very important for both teams. But I have to pick my prediction. The Celtics need to win Game 3. So that's all for today. Make sure to like this podcast. If you want to follow me on social media, follow me at X, formerly Twitter, at Belly versus PMM, or Instagram Pascal underscore Mayala underscore 15. And don't forget to subscribe, like, notify, leave your comment on my video. And that's what we said. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.